if there were issues, they are fixed. Unfortunately, I double-checked everything on my end. I don't think it was originating from this end, so it might just be the internet is having a bad day. Hopefully that's not the case, but these things can and do happen. Esports wouldn't be esports without wide-scale Sombra attacks.
Well, it's the E in esports. We are still slaves to our electronics here, our electronic components, but we are in the lobby already for Hollywood. We gave players a chance to reset their routers if they were having issues, and we're ready. We're just going to jump right into Hollywood with Cloud9 trailing Faze 0-1 in this best-of-3 set.
So, we didn't get too much of a chance to ask you, Slasher, what you thought of the last round, but what do you think of Surefour's 76 there? Because I feel like if he had gone McCree or just something a little bit more solid, they would have had a better time.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, we've seen Soldier be such a big, powerful force in the middle of Gibraltar that it's not necessarily a bad pick. Also, you're able to get to the hangar phase faster and get on top of the ship quicker, but dealing with a Reaper bubbled on top, you're pretty much always going to lose that one-on-one, and that was allowed Shadowburn to ult on top of the ship and then get a pick onto Adam, and that's what opened up the hangar phase. So probably McCree would have been the better choice. I don't think that's the reason they lost the map, though. I mean, they both held first point almost to the very end. Cloud9 put themselves in the best possible situation to win the map, but both teams let the hangar phase go really quickly. On Faze's end, it was probably pushing the first point at the end too much and giving up too many frags to let the hangar phase go through. And on Cloud9's end, when you don't have Lucio, you run the risk of not being able to speed back to the point and to be able to get as many team fights as you want to. So I think that after they lost the hangar phase, they just didn't have enough time to really set up a good enough defense on third point.
They also got a little bit unlucky on their spawns a couple different times, too. I know there's a lot of players who don't necessarily love how the spawn system works, and Gibraltar is one of the most glaring examples of getting stuck in a tough spawn, because there were a couple times where they died simply because of where they ended up spawning there.
If nothing else, I feel like the escape rooms should have some sort of just temporary or like route out of it for people that are still stuck in spawn. Just some extra escape tunnel or something, so you're not having to go out and just go,
right.
Oh, now this is happening. But speaking of what is happening, the defense for Faze is underway. Or sorry, for Cloud9 is underway, and you take a look at Mendo right now. Mendo repping the Roadhog here. Gonna be looking for those early defensive picks, but Too Easy for Faze is on the offensive hog.
Yeah,
So it's going to be a tale of Mendo and Too Easy, or something that we've seen time and time again here in Overwatch.
Beautiful hook takes in Shadowburn, but he does get a really nice shield from Forsaken, who's been clutch on his allied shields throughout the last couple of days. Another hook from Mendo onto Too Easy is not going to find any purchase, as Factor Fiction is the first to die here.
Both Roadhogs trying up hooks, but it is more in favor of Faze right now. They've gotten a little bit more momentum here. They've been pushing C9 back, and C9, they're going to have a hard time bringing this back. Their best chance here, Adam has a nano boost up. He's going to be throwing it on Reinhardt, and here comes Rib, moving right in on... No, it didn't go on Rib. I don't know who actually got the nano boost there.
Well, Shadowburn
he was definitely aiming for it.
Shadowburn gets it from the other side. He gets knocked down immediately. It does completely negates all the effects of it, but the fear of a Shadowburn on a boosted Reaper is real. They do throw in the Blizzard late here. This should be Faze all, but it's over but the crying now. As Mendo's in, Wolfa's going to try to come in and delay, but might get hooked out here.
And that will be Faze taking the first point relatively quickly here against C9. And now, so he was definitely angling to put the nano boost on Rib. Who did the nano boost end up going on there?
I want to say maybe it hit Mendo. I'm not entirely sure. I wasn't paying attention to that one in particular. They are switching things up though. Surefour's going to come up onto a fair. One of the reasons that, I mean, you see teams just throwing bodies at the point now, even when the point is lost, and I think a part of that is because they don't want these forward spawns either. Because if you die in a weird situation, you end up in this kind of weird spawn where you can get picked off that's on the right side. So teams will throw bodies onto the point, knowing that they can reestablish as a group all in the same spawn afterwards.
And here comes Groudon coming out here for Forsaken. Gonna get two members of C9 in it to start things out. C9 thrown a little bit back, and Shadowburn not wasting any time. Nano boosted right in with the Death Blossom. Got 0 kills off of the start things out. Finally does find Kai as C9 having conceded a lost space to the Faze, and Faze will be picking up the picks they need in the end.
So far, this Fair has been rather ineffective, and it's hard to do when your team is already losing heroes, so that he does dodge the hook. They are taking the high ground. There it goes. There's some effectiveness as Short 4, Mendo, and Wolf combine to equalize things, and now they're going to have the advantage as 3 go down quickly for Faze. They're going to be on the chase here, and Short 4 really doesn't have to worry about a whole lot. As long as he dodges hooks, he'll be fine.
And here's the key, is that how long is it going to take for a change up here? And we have the immediate change up coming in. Although it's a little bit weird. I mean, Shadowburn, I imagine he's not a total slouch on hit scan characters, but you'd think that you'd put Too Easy on that instead. He's usually who takes up the role there, so they're not necessarily putting their absolute best hit scan player on Sure 4 duty, but at the very least they're recognizing that they do need something to deal with the Pharah, and that something for now is going to be Shadowburn on McCree.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see. As you mentioned, Too Easy would be that player, but he actually lived through that, so he was not able to get back to spawn to redo it. So there's kind of improvising right now and making do with what they have. We'll see how Shadowburn's McCree does fare, but Short 4 can be a terror on this Pharah. They have almost every ultimate up, and now they have to worry about resurrections too.
Too Easy, able to move in there, does take out Sure 4. Just sort of worked his way up, caught him off guard, gets a hook on the Mendo, and it's Too Easy right now, really opening the way for Faze. Sound barriers up for them, pushing C9 back more. C9 lucky to come out of that with only 1 loss to begin with, and C9, they're giving a lot of space to Faze. Sure 4 is going to be back sooner rather than later, and now Kai will have a chance here with the Gravton. Gravton get pulling 3, Sure 4 in over the top, here comes the barrage, and that is going to be a clean 3K for Sure 4.
He knows he's going to die there too. When you're playing against a top level McCree and you hit Q, you're just hoping that you can kill more people before you actually die. Wolf adds in a 3K of his own. We've talked about the power of Wolf on this Zenyatta. He's always been very good on the DPS of they're 3Ks, and they still have to worry about every time you gotta kill Adam in these fights, or you're gonna have to kill them twice. And Adam really made his name just based on great positioning on Mercy and on Zenyatta both. So Adam is the key to these fights to try to take him down before he can get the res off. He's about to have res at the ready.
One thing, by the way, just because I was monitoring the tech issues at the same time, so a little bit multitasking, but if people are selling stream issues, please let it be known chat-wise. Hopefully the restart fixes it. If not, like, there's nothing we can do, but just so you guys know, we were monitoring the problem. But taking a look here at the top, Faze, 4 ultimates in their ult bank right now. Forsaken holding on to that Gravitar, and Shadowburn go open things up here at the Deadeye. But while that goes on, Raucous falls, so both teams down to support. It's going to be 5v5. And Shadowburn landing some good shots here on the Sure 4, definitely keeping the Pharah back and showing that, you know what, he's not just a projectile DPS player, he can go on to McCree in a pinch.
Stone Wolf there. Rib was taken out Factor Fiction as he tried to charge in through that Graviton, unable to do so. It is brawly down there, but right now Faze getting the better of it as Too Easy goes off on his whole hog. He's looking for more. He needs to find Adam, does not find him in time.
I know we like talking about Too Easy as being a streaky player, a player that has his good days and bad days. Right now, at least, it feels like this is one of Too Easy's better days. He's been having some great pickoffs from Roadhog. He's been creating a lot of space here for Faze. But C9, they're able to bend a little bit back. They're coming back into this fight. Sure 4 now, Mercy on the way, takes down Rockets with 2 well-placed rockets, and Shadowburn's been doing an okay job of suppressing Sure 4, but it hasn't been complete as Sure 4 takes over that fight at the very last moment.
Well, that was a 1 fight for Faze if they found Adam. He was hiding just on the other side of the wall in the Pioneer Hotel. Now, Too Easy can't see through walls, but had he pivoted 90 degrees, they take out Adam and deny that res and probably get this point. So that is the power of this Mercy. They recognize the power of this Mercy. They're going to run their own combo now. Too Easy now onto the McCree to deal with it. Shadowburn takes up the mantle as his own Pharah, while Raucous will support him as Mercy.
All right, and time's running out. Sure 4 just takes down Shadowburn with a beautiful rocket right to the gut. And the rest of C9 going to be piling on this Rib on the Grego. Sure 4 on the flank. 4 kills here from C9, and unfortunately for Factor Fiction, his team is dead all around him. Sure 4 got finished off with the barrage. Not even necessary towards the end, but as time is running out, why not finish it out with style?
I mean, you know, you have to deal with a Sure 4 and Adam. You have to do something. I know putting Shadowburn on McCree is the right answer to go to, but as you mentioned, he's not the hit scan player for Faze. I mean, you should be putting Too Easy on the hit scan. You should be going to Zen. Of course, Ana could be dealing with the Pharah, but if Ana's dealing with Pharah, then Ana's not healing as much, and Ana's focusing on trying to snipe his. And really, they weren't able to find Adam. Adam stays alive, res Sure 4 twice. They have no ability to get high ground or shut Sure 4 down.
I will say, Shadowburn, you are sombering into the ether right now. I'm not sure if that's internet stuff. It's probably internet stuff given everything that's going on tonight. But I will touch on something you just brought up there, which is interesting because I agree is that even though Ana is a character that you look at and go, oh, you have an Ana, you have extra insurance against the Pharah. Yes and no. You do in the sense that you can focus on the Pharah and try and take her out and sort of work as another DPS, but if you're doing that as Ana, you're giving up a lot of her big healing throughput on your tanks, on the rest of your team, because of all the focus you have on the Pharah, so it doesn't come without a cost.
Right. I feel like it's exemplary of a trend I've been seeing lately, and perhaps it's because Pharah was a bit out of the meta for a while, but when teams see a Pharah combo, they don't take it seriously enough. And that's from not switching to heroes correctly, not switching on time. I think if FaZe was taking that threat of the Pharah in the air very seriously, they rotate all the way back. You send Too Easy back and you put him onto McCree right away. They're like, oh, it'll be fine. We'll just run Shadowburn on the McCree and it'll be okay. And it wasn't. And I think that there's a lot of times where teams are like, well, we'll deal with it with just whatever we have. And you either have to completely prioritize the Pharah threat or ignore it completely, one or the other. This halfway in between stuff that teams are doing does not work out for them. And you can't simply let Short4 go untouched throughout the air for the most time. Like, you can switch to your own combo, you can switch to a McCree, but I still feel in general teams are not taking the threat of the Pharah combo seriously enough.
They definitely aren't, and you take a look at how this is starting out here. Short4 again on the Pharah doesn't have to worry about too much on the defense. Shadowburn can throw some shurikens at him. Too Easy can grab him if he's not being super cautious, but other than that, Short4 is relatively clear skies here, and this is going to be a problem here for FaZe as they try and defend this.
Well, here comes Too Easy rotating up the stairs. He does this every single time on this map on defense. He loves coming up these stairs, trying to catch someone off guard, but they do react to it in time, able to boost out of there. Still bloodless on this first battle.
It's bloodless, but you take a look at C9, they're slowly getting better positioning as they rotate onto the point. Rib right now almost on top of it. Too Easy still looking for pickoffs, not able to get them yet. Ends up getting knocked down and isolated. So now at the 65, C9's in much better position to push this in, as Short4 will have one less threat that he even has to worry about.
It doesn't matter what hero he's on. He always rotates up those stairs, always looks for picks. Now when it works, it looks brilliant. When it goes like that, he's putting his team in a bad position. He does it consistently on Hollywood defense. Teams have got to have picked up on this by now.
He's moving in, and again, it's Factor Fiction still being a rock here for FaZe. Even as things are all going down, he's still able to get pickoffs, and Short4, he's going to fall, but it's too little too late here for FaZe. They're just way outgunned, way outnumbered on the point, and for them, they're just going to have to back out and look for a better hold on second. And the upside for them is that they recognize it early, so they will be able to get on the rooftops on second and maybe get good positioning. But C9, they're not wasting time either in trying to contest this.
Well, Pharah always gives you that great positional advantage, especially on a map like Hollywood. You can go in there right away and bring two heroes with you because you're going to have the Mercy able to get up there as well. So there's very few times where you're not going to be able to take at least first roof when you're running a combo and the other team is not.
Short4 right now just content to lay in rocket after rocket, keep the backline of FaZe a little bit just disheveled here. They don't have a good answer for it yet. I mean, they do have Too Easy on the McCree. Hasn't really pressured Short4 too much yet. Nano Boost Genji coming into the backline. Yet to get a kill, just getting knocked around, but he does connect in the end. Picks up two, and is going to be looking for more, so C9 came close to deal with that Nano Genji, but not close enough. It's really hard to keep Shadowburn out under normal circumstances, let alone when he has a Nano Boost fueling him as well.
Shadowburn's a player that you can't control. You can only hope to contain him. You're not going to be able to shut down Shadowburn's Genji for an entire round, so sometimes you just have to deal with, like, just eat it, just accept the fact that Shadowburn's going to do that to you, so they're not going to make any drastic changes around that either. They're going to continue to run the same thing. Barrage and Graviton coming together.
It is a combo coming out from C9 to try and turn things back in their favor. It's not a bad response in FaZe, though. They take out Mendo in the midst of it. They don't lose everyone that's putting the Graviton. We'll see, though, as C9 still is applying the pressure. Short4 looking for Raucus, will be taking him out, and just like that, C9 has bought themselves space in FaZe. It takes a while to run back from spawn here. They're going to have to contest this more towards the point than anything else, as C9 has momentum to keep them pushed back.
Talking about Shadowburn's elusiveness, you're not going to hit him with rockets. He just is a dancer on that Genji. They've been shooting at him for the last 10 seconds, not even come close to splash damaging him yet.
Honestly, Genji versus Pharah is kind of a weird fight to begin with. Neither is really great at shooting the other, but Short4 going in on Too Easy, not even caring about his counter, taking him out first, gets rid of the problem, looks for Raucus, picks up the double kill, and gonna go for the barrage on Fisher, ends up picking up 3. And still, as you look at this, they're so close to taking this map. C9 only needs a little bit more. Shadowburn must get another kill that actually takes this, but no, he will get taken out. The rest is going to come in from Adam, and C9 going to be taking Hollywood and evening up the series 1-1.
Mentioned how Too Easy can be a bit of a streaky player. We saw the bad side of Too Easy there, from dying very early on his Roadhog to, you know, he was the big threat for Pharah for the most part. He switched onto his McCree. He had 2 lives where he got very little done, tried a Deadeye, ended up falling down and getting Earth Shattered. There came out late with no support or assistance and got bodied immediately by Shore4's rockets, and then Shore4, knowing he just killed his biggest threat, continues to fly unhindered, nails another barrage. Too Easy, not the greatest round for him. I'm sure he would agree.
Too Easy, it's weird because he definitely had points where he was playing really well in Hollywood and then points where not so well. Just, I don't know. It's a Too Easy experience at this point, but look at that. Now, it does include shield damage, which Afera shoots a lot, but that's still a boatload of damage coming out from Shore4, where, again, I don't really think Faze had the best answer for it. I would have liked it more if they went to a full-on McCree Zen just to deal with it rather than relying more on the Ana, because as we were talking with Slasher before, just before going into this round, you do suffer a bit when you have Ana try and pick up the slack in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to agree. You saw rockets going on to Zen at the end of Gibraltar just to be able to deal with Shore4 on Genji. Why not take that same premise into the Pharah Mercy here? Because you're not only dealing with the Pharah on this